Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into a crucial topic: how to identify if your friend is a narcissist. Narcissistic personality disorder can be challenging to spot, but knowing the signs can help you protect yourself from manipulation and maintain healthier relationships. We often think of narcissists as people who are in love with themselves, and while that's true, there's a lot more to it. Narcissism exists on a spectrum, and it can manifest in various ways. In this video, we'll discuss 6 common signs that your friend might be a narcissist. Remember, this video is for informational purposes only, and is not a substitute for professional advice. If you're concerned about your relationship with someone, please consult a mental health professional. Have you ever noticed how some people get a perverse sense of pleasure from putting others down? They mask it as humor, but the sting of their words lingers long after the laughter fades. That, my friend, is often a sign of a narcissist at work. Narcissists are deeply insecure individuals. They prop up their fragile self-worth by diminishing those around them. If they convince themselves everyone else is wrong, they feel superior. They achieve this through subtle yet effective bullying tactics. Backhanded compliments like, "That's a nice dress, it almost hides your..." These comments chip away at your confidence, elevating the narcissist. The more insecure you feel, the more powerful they become. They prey on your vulnerabilities to fuel their fragile egos. Remember, you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, not tear you down. Narcissists are masters of disguise. They're incredibly adept at presenting a carefully constructed persona to the world, one that's often charming, charismatic, and even empathetic. This is their way of luring you in, of disarming you with their apparent genuineness. Think about it. Would you willingly befriend someone who is openly arrogant, manipulative, and lacking in empathy? Of course not. So the narcissist creates this facade, this illusion of being someone they're not, to gain your trust and ultimately your admiration. But here's the catch. This charming persona is nothing more than a carefully constructed facade. It's a mask they wear to hide their true nature, their deep-seated insecurities, and their insatiable need for admiration. Now, we all tell little white lies from time to time, but for a narcissist, lying is like breathing. It's second nature, a way of life. They lie about big things and small things, about their accomplishments, their experiences, even their feelings. Why the constant fabrication? Because for a narcissist, reality is never quite good enough. Their fragile egos require a constant stream of validation, of feeling superior and exceptional. And if reality doesn't provide that, well, they simply invent a new one. They might exaggerate their accomplishments at work, inflating their role in a successful project, or taking credit for someone else's ideas. They might fabricate stories about their past, creating elaborate narratives that paint them as the hero, the victim, or the misunderstood genius. These lies aren't just about impressing others, they're about propping up their own fragile sense of self. By creating this false reality, they get to inhabit a world where they're always on top, always the smartest, most successful, most admired person in the room. But here's the thing about lies. They have a way of unraveling, and when a narcissist's carefully constructed facade begins to crumble, they can become incredibly defensive, even aggressive. If you catch your friend in a lie, don't expect them to admit fault or apologize. Instead, they're likely to turn the tables on you, accusing you of being jealous, overly sensitive, or even delusional. They might try to gaslight you, making you question your own memory and perception of events. The narcissist's relationship with truth is tenuous at best. They see honesty as a weakness, a vulnerability that they can exploit to maintain their position of power. Remember, their goal isn't to connect with you on a genuine level, it's to control the narrative and ensure they always come out on top. Chapter 4. They are entitled. Have you ever encountered someone who seems to operate under a different set of rules than everyone else? Someone who expects special treatment, who throws a tantrum when they don't get their way, who genuinely believes the world revolves around them? That, my friends, is the hallmark of an entitled narcissist. They move through the world with an air of superiority, convinced that they're deserving of preferential treatment, special favors, and constant admiration. Rules? Those are for ordinary people, not for someone of their extraordinary stature. This sense of entitlement manifests in countless ways. They might cut lines, expecting others to simply accommodate their needs. They might demand the best table at a restaurant, even without a reservation, acting as if their mere presence is a gift to the establishment. And when their sense of entitlement is challenged, brace yourself. A narcissist's reaction to not getting their way can range from childish sulking to outright rage. They might throw a verbal tantrum, belittling and demeaning anyone who dares to deny them their perceived due. This sense of entitlement stems from a deep-seated belief that they are special, unique, and simply better than everyone else. They lack empathy for others, unable to grasp the concept that other people have needs and feelings that are equally as valid as their own. In their distorted worldview, the world is a stage, and everyone else is merely a supporting character in the grand play of their lives. Your role as their friend is to cater to their needs, to provide unwavering support and admiration, and to never ever question their behavior. Dealing with an entitled narcissist can be incredibly draining. Their constant need for validation, their disregard for boundaries, and their volatile reactions can leave you feeling emotionally exhausted and deeply resentful. Chapter 5. They need constant praise. Narcissists crave attention and validation like oxygen. It's their lifeblood, the fuel that feeds their insatiable egos. They need constant reassurance that they're as brilliant, talented, and captivating as they believe themselves to be. This insatiable need for praise manifests in various ways. They might constantly fish for compliments, steering conversations in a direction that allows them to subtly, or not so subtly, boast about their achievements, possessions, or even their appearance. Social media is their playground, a carefully curated stage where they can showcase their perfect lives and bask in the glow of likes, comments, and shares. They meticulously craft their online persona, projecting an image of success, happiness, and effortless superiority. But here's the thing, no amount of praise is ever enough to fill the void at the heart of a narcissist. Their need for validation is like a bottomless pit, and they'll constantly seek more. They'll downplay the accomplishments of others, minimizing their successes to ensure the spotlight remains firmly fixed on them. They might even try to sabotage your efforts, subtly undermining your confidence or taking credit for your ideas. If you dare to withhold praise or, heaven forbid, offer constructive criticism, be prepared for a backlash. Narcissists can't handle anything that challenges their inflated sense of self. They might react with anger, defensiveness, or even icy withdrawal, punishing you for daring to question their perfection. Chapter 6. They love to gaslight. Let's talk about gaslighting, a particularly insidious form of manipulation that narcissists frequently employ to maintain control in relationships. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person seeks to sow seeds of doubt in a victim's mind, making them question their own sanity. Narcissists use gaslighting as a way to distort reality and make you doubt your own perceptions, memories, and even your sanity. They want you to question everything you believe, to feel off balance and unsure of yourself. Why? Because when you're in that state of confusion and self-doubt, you're more likely to accept their version of events, their manipulations, and their control. They might deny saying things that you distinctly remember, insisting that you're misremembering or overreacting. They might forget important conversations or events, making you question your own grasp on reality. They might even accuse you of being crazy, paranoid, or too sensitive, further eroding your self-esteem and making you more reliant on their version of events. Here's the thing about gaslighting. It's incredibly insidious. It often happens gradually, subtly, so that you don't even realize you're being manipulated. You start to question your own judgment, your memory, your sanity. You begin to doubt your own experiences, wondering if you're truly at fault for the problems in the relationship. Gaslighting can have a devastating impact on your mental and emotional well-being. It can lead to anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, and a sense of isolation. It can make you question your own reality, making it difficult to trust your instincts and make decisions. If you recognize these signs of gaslighting in your relationship, it's crucial to seek support. Talk to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist. It's important to remember that you're not alone and that your experiences are valid. Outro: 6 signs your friend might be a narcissist. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content. Remember, recognizing the signs of narcissism is the first step towards protecting yourself and building healthier relationships. It's important to remember that this video is for informational purposes only and not a substitute for professional advice. If you're struggling with a narcissist in your life, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional. Stay informed, take care of your mental health, and remember, you deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, support you, and treat you with the respect you deserve.
Welcome to Zen Zone Health. Today, we're diving into the 7 clear signs that a narcissist is trying to manipulate you. Recognizing these red flags is often the first step in reclaiming your power and protecting yourself from further emotional harm.
Have you ever encountered someone who seems perpetually glued to the mirror of their own ego? Narcissists are often profoundly egocentric, their worlds revolving around their own needs and desires. This self-absorption manifests in many ways, but one of the most telling signs is their constant need for admiration and validation. They thrive on being the center of attention, often hijacking conversations to steer the focus back to themselves. You might notice them boasting about their accomplishments, often inflating their achievements to almost mythical proportions. Their stories often lack details about others, reflecting their inability to truly see beyond their own experiences. This self-centeredness can be incredibly draining for those around them. It's like being caught in a one-sided conversation where your thoughts and feelings are rendered invisible.
When someone consistently places themselves at the center, it's a red flag that their capacity for empathy and genuine connection might be severely limited. Pay attention to how you feel in their presence. Do you feel heard, seen, and valued? Or do you find yourself constantly diminishing your own light to accommodate their oversized ego? Narcissists often use their inflated sense of self to control others, making you question your worth and reality. They might dismiss your accomplishments, subtly undermine your confidence, or make you feel guilty for having needs that extend beyond their own. Don't be afraid to set boundaries and prioritize your own well-being.
Narcissists often view the world as a hierarchical stage where they are perpetually vying for the spotlight. This insatiable need for superiority makes them incredibly sensitive to the accomplishments of others, particularly those they perceive as potential rivals for attention. When you share good news, do they respond with genuine enthusiasm or a thinly veiled sense of resentment? Narcissists struggle to celebrate the success of others, as it threatens their fragile ego. They might downplay your achievements, making dismissive comments that minimize your hard work and dedication.
You worked tirelessly on a project, poured your heart and soul into it, and finally achieved the results you desired. Instead, you're met with a lukewarm acknowledgement, a backhanded compliment, or worse, a complete dismissal of your efforts. Their need to maintain a sense of superiority drives them to diminish the accomplishments of others, ensuring that they remain the star of their own show. This behavior can be incredibly hurtful, leaving you feeling unseen, undervalued, and even questioning your own abilities. It's crucial to remember that your worth is not contingent on their validation. If you find yourself constantly being undermined or having your achievements minimized, it's a clear sign that you're dealing with someone who is more invested in their own ego than in your well-being. Surround yourself with people who uplift and empower you, those who celebrate your victories as their own.
Narcissists often struggle with direct communication, particularly when it comes to expressing their needs or frustrations. Their sense of entitlement leads them to believe that their needs should be met without them having to explicitly state them. When this doesn't happen, as it inevitably won't, they often resort to passive-aggressive behavior as a means of expressing their displeasure. Passive aggression is a way of expressing anger or frustration indirectly, often through subtle digs, backhanded compliments, or a refusal to fully engage. It's a way of undermining or punishing the other person without directly confronting the issue. You might notice them making sarcastic remarks disguised as jokes, leaving you feeling confused and hurt. They might offer backhanded compliments that seem designed to chip away at your confidence. For example, they might say, "You look surprisingly good today," implying that you usually don't.
This can be incredibly emotionally manipulative, leaving you feeling anxious, insecure, and desperate to win back their approval. Healthy communication involves clear, direct, and respectful dialogue. If you find yourself constantly trying to decode their behavior or feeling punished for things you're not even aware of, it's a sign that you're in a relationship with someone who is emotionally immature and manipulative. Chapter 4. Playing the victim.
They possess an uncanny knack for twisting narratives to paint themselves as innocent sufferers, even when they are the ones who initiated the conflict or caused harm.
Narcissists are masters of manipulation, and one of their most potent tools is their ability to seamlessly slip into the role of the victim.
Firstly, it deflects any blame or accountability away from them.
This tactic serves several purposes.
By presenting themselves as the wronged party, they avoid facing the consequences of their actions and maintain their carefully constructed facade of innocence.
Secondly, playing the victim elicits sympathy and support from others.
People are naturally inclined to help those who appear to be struggling, and narcissists exploit this empathy to their advantage.
They weave elaborate tales of being misunderstood, mistreated, and hard done by, garnering attention and validation from unsuspecting individuals.
You might notice them exaggerating setbacks, conveniently omitting their role in the situation, or outright fabricating stories to garner sympathy.
They might blame their failures on external factors, like a difficult boss, unsupportive family, or even bad luck, anything but taking responsibility for their own choices.
This manipulation tactic can be incredibly damaging, as it creates a distorted reality where their version of events becomes the accepted truth.
If you're constantly finding yourself in the role of the villain in their narratives, it's a sign that you're being manipulated. Chapter 5. Manipulation tactics. Narcissists are skilled manipulators, adept at employing a variety of tactics to control others.
One common strategy is triangulation, involving a third party in a conflict. This third person could be anyone, a friend, family member, co-worker, or even a stranger.
Imagine this, you're having a disagreement and they involve a mutual friend sharing their distorted version of events.
It gives them an opportunity to garner support and validation.
Triangulation creates distance and mistrust between you and the third party. The friend might start questioning your behavior, leaving you feeling isolated and betrayed.
Another tactic is gaslighting, where the narcissist undermines your perception of reality.
This tactic makes you doubt your sanity, making you more reliant on the narcissist.
Recognizing these tactics is crucial in protecting yourself from emotional harm.
Chapter 6. Blaming others for mistakes. One of the hallmark characteristics of narcissism is a profound lack of accountability.
Narcissists possess a remarkable ability to deflect blame, projecting their own shortcomings onto others and evading any responsibility for their actions. This inability to acknowledge their mistakes stems from a deeply ingrained belief that they are inherently superior and therefore infallible.
In their minds, any fault or wrongdoing must lie externally, as their ego cannot tolerate the notion of imperfection.
They might make excuses for their behavior, attributing it to external factors beyond their control. For instance, if they lash out at you, they might blame it on a stressful day at work, financial worries, or even your own actions, claiming that you provoked them.
Another common tactic is to twist the narrative, reframing situations to make themselves appear blameless. They might accuse you of being overly sensitive, misinterpreting their intentions, or blowing things out of proportion.
This constant deflection of responsibility can be incredibly frustrating and emotionally draining for those around them.
Moreover, this blame-shifting behavior prevents the narcissist from experiencing genuine growth and self-improvement.
If you find yourself constantly being blamed for the narcissist's mistakes, it's essential to remember that you are not responsible for their actions or their inability to take accountability.
Chapter 7. Refusal to change or seek help. Narcissists often operate under the delusion that they are perfect beings, superior to those around them.
This inflated sense of self-importance makes it incredibly challenging for them to acknowledge any flaws or shortcomings, let alone seek help to address them. In their minds, the problem doesn't lie with them, it lies with everyone else who fails to meet their unrealistic expectations or recognize their inherent brilliance.
This unwavering belief in their own perfection creates a significant barrier to change. Suggesting that they might benefit from therapy or counseling is often met with resistance, anger, or even ridicule.
They might view it as an attack on their character, a sign that you don't truly appreciate their exceptionalism.
You might find yourself pleading with them to see a therapist, hoping that a professional can break through their defenses and guide them towards a path of healing. However, it's essential to remember that you cannot force someone to change if they are not ready or willing to do so.
Change must come from within, driven by a genuine desire to address their issues and improve their relationships.
While it's natural to want to help someone you care about, it's crucial to prioritize your own well-being. 7 clear signs. A narcissist is manipulating you. Zen Zone Health. Thanks for watching Zen Zone Health. Understanding the signs of narcissistic manipulation is crucial for protecting your emotional well-being. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.
Welcome to Zen Zone Health. Today we're diving into an important topic that impacts countless relationships: narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. True NPD is a serious condition, going beyond just being self-centered. It's a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. This video is not intended to diagnose anyone, but to empower you with knowledge. If you suspect your partner might have NPD, stay tuned as we uncover 9 key signs to look out for. Understanding these signs is crucial for protecting yourself emotionally and navigating the relationship in a healthy way. Remember, knowledge is power, and sometimes just having a name for what you're experiencing can be a huge relief. So let's get started. The first sign we'll explore is excessive self-importance. Narcissists often have an inflated sense of their own accomplishments and abilities. They might exaggerate their achievements, talents, or importance in their field, constantly needing to be seen as the best or most successful. This grandiosity often comes across in their conversations. They might dominate discussions, steering the topic back to themselves and their accomplishments. They might name drop excessively, trying to impress you with their connections and accomplishments. Another facet of this is their belief that they are special and unique, deserving of special treatment. They might compare themselves favorably to others, emphasizing how much smarter, more talented, or more attractive they are. This sense of entitlement can permeate their interactions, expecting preferential treatment and becoming impatient or angry when they don't receive it. However, this inflated ego is often fragile. They are extremely sensitive to criticism, even if it's constructive or well-intentioned. Any perceived slight or challenge to their self-image can trigger anger, defensiveness, or even rage. Our next sign is a classic hallmark of narcissism: an inability to accept responsibility for their actions, and a tendency to shift blame onto others. Narcissists have a remarkable talent for twisting situations to maintain their sense of self-righteousness. When things go wrong, a narcissist will find a way to make it someone else's fault. They might blame their partner, colleagues, friends, or even external circumstances for their own mistakes or shortcomings. You might notice that they rarely, if ever, offer a genuine apology. And if they do apologize, it's often superficial or laced with justifications. They might say things like, "I'm sorry you feel that way," which subtly shifts the blame onto your perception of the situation, rather than taking ownership of their actions. This inability to accept responsibility is rooted in their need to maintain a flawless self-image. Acknowledging a mistake, in their mind, would be admitting a crack in their armor, a blemish on their perfect facade. So, they deflect and project, safeguarding their ego at the expense of others. Now, you might be thinking, if narcissists are so difficult, how do they even get into relationships in the first place? That brings us to our third sign. They can be incredibly charming, especially in the early stages of a relationship. This initial charm is often referred to as love bombing. It's a calculated tactic where the narcissist showers their target with excessive attention, flattery, gifts, and declarations of love. They might mirror your interests, values, and aspirations, making you feel like you found your soulmate. This intense charm is intoxicating. It creates a whirlwind romance that sweeps you off your feet. You feel seen, cherished, and adored like never before. However, this idyllic phase is often short-lived. Once the narcissist feels they have secured your affection and admiration, the love bombing subsides. The grand gestures fade, the compliments become less frequent, and the narcissist's true colors begin to surface. This sudden shift can be incredibly disorienting and painful for the other person. Chapter 4: Constant Need for Compliments. Let's move on to the fourth sign, which ties in closely with their need for admiration: a constant need for compliments. Narcissists thrive on external validation. They have an insatiable appetite for praise and admiration, needing constant reassurance of their worth and importance. They might fish for compliments, subtly steering conversations to showcase their accomplishments or talents. They might boast about their achievements, expecting you to shower them with praise and admiration. This need for compliments stems from their fragile ego and deep-seated insecurity. Despite their outward confidence and grandiosity, narcissists are often deeply insecure individuals who rely on external validation to prop up their self-esteem. When the compliments stop, or when they feel their brilliance is not being adequately acknowledged, their true colors start to show. They might become withdrawn, sulky, or even aggressive. Chapter 5: Feeling Unseen. This next sign is perhaps one of the most painful aspects of being in a relationship with a narcissist: feeling unseen and unheard. Narcissists have a profound lack of empathy. They struggle to recognize or understand the feelings and needs of others. They are so consumed by their own internal world, their own needs and desires, that they have little capacity to truly see or empathize with their partners. You might find that they rarely ask about your day, your feelings, or your experiences, and even when you do try to share, they might interrupt, redirect the conversation back to themselves, or seem completely disinterested. This lack of empathy can make you feel incredibly lonely and isolated in the relationship. It's like talking to a brick wall, your feelings bouncing off their impenetrable self-absorption. Chapter 6: Lack of long-term friendships. Moving on to sign number 6, let's talk about relationships outside of your own. Take a look at their social circle. Narcissists often have a history of unstable relationships, both romantic and platonic. They might have a string of exes they demonize, portraying themselves as the victim in every situation. You might notice that they have few, if any, long-term, genuine friendships. This is because their narcissistic traits, the lack of empathy, the need for admiration, the tendency to devalue others, make it difficult for them to maintain healthy, balanced relationships. They might surround themselves with superficial acquaintances who feed their ego, but they often struggle to form deep, meaningful connections based on mutual respect and understanding. This lack of close friendships should raise a red flag. It's not normal for someone to go through life without forming any genuine, lasting bonds. Chapter 7: Constant Criticism. Let's delve into sign number 7, constant criticism. Narcissists are often highly critical of their partners, finding fault with everything from their appearance to their personality to their choices. This criticism can be subtle and insidious, like backhanded compliments or snide remarks disguised as jokes. Or it can be blatant and cruel, leaving you feeling belittled and demeaned. They might criticize your clothing style, your taste in music, your career choices, or even your parenting skills. The purpose of this constant criticism is to chip away at your self-esteem and make you more dependent on them. By constantly pointing out your flaws, they are subtly reinforcing their own superiority while making you question your own worth and judgment. Chapter 8: Gaslighting. Now this next sign is particularly insidious and damaging: gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of emotional abuse where the narcissist manipulates their partner into questioning their own sanity and reality. They might deny your memories of events, insist you said or did things you didn't, or twist situations to make you doubt your own perceptions. They might accuse you of being crazy, too sensitive, or making things up. For example, you might vividly remember them making a hurtful comment, but they'll flat out deny it, saying, "I never said that. You must be imagining things." Or they might do something to hurt you, but then turn it around and accuse you of being the one who's being unreasonable or overreacting. This constant invalidation and manipulation can leave you feeling confused, anxious, and deeply insecure. You start to doubt your own memories, your perceptions, and even your sanity. This self-doubt makes you more dependent on the narcissist, who becomes the sole arbiter of reality. Chapter 9. Never apologizing. And finally, the ninth sign, which we touched upon earlier, is their inability to offer genuine apologies. Narcissists view apologies as a sign of weakness, an admission of fault that contradicts their self-image of perfection. They might apologize superficially, saying, "I'm sorry," without truly meaning it or taking responsibility for their actions. Or, as we discussed before, they might offer backhanded apologies that shift the blame onto you, such as, "I'm sorry you feel that way." This inability to apologize sincerely stems from their lack of empathy and their need to always be right. They simply cannot fathom that they might have done something wrong because, in their minds, they are flawless beings incapable of making mistakes. Thank you for watching Zen Zone Health. I hope this video has shed some light on the complex dynamics of narcissistic relationships. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on future content. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new uploads. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards addressing and improving your relationship. If you resonate with these signs, it's essential to seek professional guidance from a therapist or counselor who specializes in personality disorders. Stay healthy and take care.
Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the mind of a narcissist. We'll uncover the thought patterns, the behaviors, and the profound impact their presence has on relationships. Navigating the world of a narcissist can feel like walking through a minefield, never knowing when the next explosion of neediness or blame will erupt. Knowledge is power, and understanding these patterns is the first step to protecting yourself. Let's get started. Narcissists possess an insatiable hunger to feel important, to be seen as superior, often without putting in the genuine effort. Their world revolves around maintaining this facade, and they go to great lengths to reinforce it.
It's a constant game of one-upmanship, where I need to be the smartest, the most admired, even if it means diminishing those around me.
Narcissists are often fixated on success, but not in the traditional sense of hard work and perseverance. They are consumed by the idea of being seen as successful, of achieving an elevated status that sets them apart.
I am driven by external validation, by the need to be seen as the best, often at the expense of genuine fulfillment.
This relentless pursuit can lead to a cutthroat mentality, where the narcissist views everyone as competition. Their need to be seen as successful overshadows genuine desire to contribute. Narcissists often operate with a skewed sense of social hierarchy. They believe in a world divided between the special and the ordinary, and they, of course, place themselves firmly in the former category.
I gravitate towards individuals I perceive as having achieved a certain level of success, status, or influence.
This creates a transactional approach to relationships, where people are valued not for their character, but for their perceived social currency. Friends, colleagues, even romantic partners become pawns in their game of social climbing and self-promotion. It reinforces the narcissist's belief in their own superiority while perpetuating a cycle of superficial connections devoid of genuine intimacy.
I thrive on admiration, on being the center of attention, on receiving a constant stream of compliments and praise.
Their need for external validation is insatiable, and they will go to great lengths to secure it.
I crave the validation that comes with being seen as exceptional, brilliant, or talented.
This constant need for admiration can be incredibly draining for those around them. Understanding this insatiable need for admiration is crucial for setting boundaries with a narcissist. Recognizing that their need for praise is not about you, but about their own internal struggles, can help you detach from their demands and protect your own emotional well-being.
I possess an innate belief in my own superiority, a conviction that I am deserving of special treatment, preferential consideration, and unwavering attention.
The world, in their view, revolves around them.
I have an uncanny ability to make everything about me, hijacking conversations, steering the focus back to my own achievements, my own needs, my own experiences.
This need to come first creates an imbalance in relationships, where the narcissist's needs consistently overshadow the needs of their partners, friends, or family members. Navigating relationships with a narcissist requires setting firm boundaries, establishing clear expectations, and recognizing that their need to come first is not a reflection of your worth. It's a symptom of their own distorted self-perception.
I often view the world as a chessboard, and people as pawns to be strategically moved and manipulated to achieve my own goals.
They possess an uncanny ability to charm, persuade, and coerce others into serving their agenda.
I lack empathy and remorse, viewing people as tools to be used and discarded at my convenience.
This manipulative behavior can manifest in various ways, from subtle guilt trips to outright exploitation. Recognizing these manipulative tendencies is crucial for protecting yourself from exploitation. Setting firm boundaries, refusing to be swayed by their charm, and prioritizing your own well-being are essential steps in navigating interactions with a narcissist. Chapter 7. Lack of empathy. One of the most striking characteristics of a narcissist is their profound lack of empathy. They struggle to understand, let alone share, the feelings and experiences of others.
I might pretend to care, but really it's just a means to an end. Emotions, they're tools for manipulation.
They may feign empathy when it serves their interests, mirroring emotions they don't genuinely feel to manipulate or exploit others. Their inability to empathize leaves them ill-equipped to provide emotional support or to truly understand the impact of their actions on those around them. Understanding this fundamental lack of empathy is crucial for managing expectations in relationships with a narcissist. It's not about excusing their behavior, but rather recognizing that their capacity for emotional connection is inherently limited. Chapter 8. Envious of others. Narcissists often harbor a deep-seated envy of others, even as they project an image of confidence and superiority.
Why do they have what I deserve? It's infuriating.
This envy stems from their fragile ego, their constant need for validation and affirmation. They compare themselves to others, and when they perceive themselves as falling short, their envy festers, leading to resentment, bitterness, and a desire to tear others down.
If I can't have it, neither should they. Simple as that.
Understanding this deep-seated envy is crucial for navigating interactions with a narcissist. Their behavior, often hurtful and destructive, is driven by their own insecurities and their inability to celebrate the successes of others. Chapter 9. The Critic. Narcissists often adopt the role of the perpetual critic, constantly finding faults, flaws, and imperfections in others.
You're not good enough. You never will be.
This critical nature stems from their own deep-seated insecurities. By pointing out the flaws in others, they attempt to elevate themselves, to create a sense of superiority, to mask their own vulnerabilities. Navigating interactions with a narcissist who thrives on criticism requires setting firm boundaries, recognizing that their words are more about them than about you. Refuse to internalize their toxic negativity. Chapter 10. The Stonewaller. Narcissists often employ stonewalling as a defense mechanism, a way to avoid accountability, responsibility, and emotional intimacy.
This stonewalling can be incredibly frustrating for their partners, who are left feeling unheard, unseen, and emotionally dismissed.
This stonewalling behavior is often a learned response to conflict, a way to protect themselves from emotional vulnerability. They may have experienced early childhood trauma or neglect, where expressing their emotions led to further pain or rejection. Understanding this tendency to stonewall is crucial for setting realistic expectations in relationships with a narcissist. Recognize that their capacity for emotional intimacy and healthy communication is inherently limited. Chapter 11. The Antisocial Personality. In some cases, narcissism can be a facet of a more serious personality disorder, such as antisocial personality disorder, often characterized by a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others.
Individuals with antisocial personality disorder often display a lack of empathy, remorse, and guilt. They may engage in deceitful, manipulative, and exploitative behavior without considering the consequences of their actions on others.
It's important to note that not all narcissists have antisocial personality disorder, and not all individuals with antisocial personality disorder are narcissists. Setting firm boundaries, limiting contact, and seeking professional support are essential steps in protecting yourself from potential harm. Chapter 12. The Passive Aggressor. Narcissists often resort to passive-aggressive behavior as a way to express their anger, resentment, or frustration indirectly.
They may make snide comments, withhold affection, or engage in subtle acts of sabotage, all while maintaining a facade of innocence or obliviousness.
This passive-aggressive behavior can be incredibly confusing and frustrating for those on the receiving end. They may feel hurt, angry, or resentful, but their attempts to address the issue directly are often met with denial, deflection, or further passive aggression. Understanding this tendency towards passive aggression is crucial for setting realistic expectations in relationships with a narcissist. Recognize that their capacity for healthy communication and conflict resolution is inherently limited. Thanks for watching. I hope this deep dive into the mind of a narcissist has provided you with valuable insights into their behavior, their motivations, and the impact they have on relationships. Remember, knowledge is power. By understanding the patterns of narcissism, you can better protect yourself from their manipulative tactics, set healthy boundaries, and make informed decisions about your relationships. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more insights into understanding and navigating complex relationships. See you next time.